I think our guest has joined. Just give us a minute. Yes. We're waiting for Miss Meghna to connect. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Ratiksha.
How are you?
I'm fine, absolutely fine.
Perfect. So we can go ahead with the live. I'll just give you a small introduction and then we'll get into the conversation.
Okay, before that, we'll just check the audibility. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You're clearly audible.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
So for our guest today, I'll just give a little introduction. She's an educator. Her name is Miss Meghna Shah. She is firstly the founder and director of NEEV. It's a foundation for kids. And she's also the director of Supaksha. It's an early learning habitat in Mumbai. Am I right, ma'am?
Right.
Perfect. So, going on to introduce her, she is an educator and guide in this field since the past 15 years. After pursuing an education in the Montessori and Bachelor's of Education, she has been teaching at the preschool in Anand Niketan and the chief admin at Wonderland Ahmedabad. She is also the head at Treehouse Vikhroli, and she is also the director of Supaksha, that is in Mumbai, and the founder of NEEV Foundation for Kids. NEEV Foundation for Kids started with an objective of conducting group and individual sessions for parents and helping them to engage kids in the lockdown period, creating a Montessori environment at home, and practical activities which are engrossing and aid learning and developing in the critical age group of 3 to 6. Ma'am, that is a wonderful bio. Thank you so much for being here today. And our conversation will pretty much revolve around all this for all the viewers who are looking. So without any delay, ma'am, let me just start. You said you have my first question, ma'am, because we spoke about you as a director in the NEEV Foundation, which also particularly depends and focuses on kids in this lockdown. So can you tell us a little more about that?
So basically, what happens is that kids below 6 years of age are left out, is what we found is. They are not being given much of importance.
Right.
So reason is that we feel they are too small, they won't understand, and they need not much of attention. That's okay, even if they skip 1 year of their studies and education.
Right.
But actually, according to the Montessori philosophy and all the early childhood education, it is very, very important stage of their life, because it is scientifically proven also that from 0 to 6 years of age, the child has the maximum capacity to absorb all the things happening around them. Right. So then I thought that I should start engaging with parents, because first the parents should know the importance of this. They should not neglect them. I know it is very difficult for them to manage with all the household chores and everything. Right. So that is very important. It is very difficult, that online learning and everything, because nowadays they can't go out. But still, if we give a platform, there are many ways of participating, make them involve in their work. There are n number of activities where we can involve them, and their learning is continued. So that is where we started engaging with small groups. And yes, beautifully, my parents, I have a team of 15 to 20 parents. They have made a very beautiful environment at their home and provide very nice environment where the child can work on their own.
Oh, okay. So, ma'am, coming to my next question, you said the age 0 to 6 is very important for development. But how do we keep these children active during these lectures? Because it's all on the screen and parents are trying to avoid screen time. How? And they also obviously, like, all the entire day they're in front of the screen. So how do you suggest we can avoid or reduce or use the screen time effectively?
Right. So basically, I understand that it is very difficult online learning as it is not a part of their learning. They have never been trained for it, or they have never no get involved in such kind of learning. What they know is that screen is to talk, maybe to communicate with their grandparents or somewhere or the other.
Right,
So definitely the reflexes are going to happen for them.
right, right.
So what do we say is that it is not that whenever any learning is going to happen, it is a separate work. It is an ongoing activity. They
Hmm.
learn from their birth. First thing what they learn is the language. As soon
Right.
as they are born, the language what they are listening every day in and
Hmm.
out, that
Hmm.
is what they are grasping, right?
Right,
That is the first
right.
thing.
Hmm.
Now, coming back to our point where we say that online learning. So,
Hmm.
what can we do is we, as in our school, we do it in online learning in this way that we guide parents that
Right.
this is how you can involve kids in your activities day by day.
Hmm.
I'll share it with an example so that it
Yeah.
makes a little clearer.
Hmm.
Child at this age, for example, the child is 2.5 or 3,
Hmm.
always wants to do something, be around with their mothers, right?
Right,
So if the
right,
mother is busy in the kitchen and she is doing her cooking work, she can provide a small knife and a plate and a banana, right? These are the only three things which she can provide, and it's easily available at home.
right.
I don't think none of the house will have a small knife. Maybe a butter knife is enough for a banana to be chopped,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
right? So what is the child learning here is chopping. Chopping is to hold the knife also. When the child is holding the knife, their pincer grasp is also getting developed. So here is their learning is continued, and they're also involved in their household chores. So
Household, yes.
practically by doing many things, they are learning a lot of things. And that is how we guide our parents to create a small space in their house where they can have all these activities for them, where they can access it every time. Because child's urge
Right.
is they might need it for 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, till their inner urge is
Right.
satisfied. So that is
Hmm.
how they can know be there with them along with their household chores, whatever they are doing, maybe mopping. If they are doing mopping in the house, you can give a small mop, a small cloth to them, their size, and they can
Hmm.
help in dusting.
Right.
Again, so what do we do is we show them the movements.
Hmm.
So we also want to make them learn, right? That
Yeah.
is very important.
Right.
Now, only pen and paper is not important to write. They
True.
can learn the movements with mopping also. So when we do mopping, they can go from left to right. They can go from
Right.
top to bottom.
Hmm.
So again, that is a pattern to write. A standing
True.
line can be formed while
Yeah.
mopping also, and on a
Yeah.
pen and paper.
Right.
So that's how.
I think these are wonderful. In fact, I would also like to add folding of clothes.
True,
Or like, that is also one activity that we usually tend to involve kids in. So,
true, true.
coming on to my next question, ma'am, what do you think is the minimum age that a child should have to attend these online classes? Is there a minimum age?
Um, I'll frankly tell you that yes, a child should at least have the age of no to respond,
Right.
because only then the child is able to enjoy the session.
Hmm.
Interactive session, no two-way approach where the child
Yes.
is listened to, and
Yes.
he also is able to no convey whatever he or she wants to.
Right.
So that will help. Age to 30 minutes.
Hmm.
So we can have different type of sessions, like we can share videos
Right.
where the videos are demonstrating videos. It is not the normal videos which we see,
Yeah.
the cartoon videos and all that, but
Yeah.
those are demonstrating videos where the activity is being presented to them,
Portrait. Yeah. Portrait. Hmm.
right, in a particular way, where the
Right.
child is absorbing the way it is done, and maybe the material is provided to the child and the child is following the same. So that is how is one way where the younger kids can be catered to. And for the older kids, about 2.5 years, can be catered to with the live sessions and with the follow-up activities along with their parents. So that is a must thing. So it is not only for 30 minutes where they are doing their activity, but in the day, like for example, we talked about chopping, mopping,
Right.
sweeping, pouring. These are the practical activities.
Right.
Even language. Language can be introduction to the whole house. There are so many objects in the house. Even those are the words which they can frame. So
Yeah.
everything can be connected with the practical things. So that is how things can happen. So yes, below 2.5, it is very difficult for the child to even concentrate for 5 minutes or so. So they can be taken care with the video lessons. And yeah, the older children can definitely be a part of the learning with the video sessions.
Right. Okay, so I think we also covered what my next question was going to be, was whether the online session should be in a video form or should be in an interactive form. So
Right.
coming ahead to that, how can a parent make it more useful for the kid other than only making them do practical activities, because parents these days are so busy in their household things and everything else actually that they can't sit with their children throughout the entire lecture. So what do you suggest when it comes to all this? Anything new?
So pre-preparation for any activity is what I always say to my parents also. If, for example, if we have a wedding in the house, what is the first we do is the pre-preparation activities, right?
Right.
So the same way when we have our office hours, we cook our Similarly, if an environment is created by the parents where the child can do the activity independently, that
Right.
is very important. And
Right.
freedom to access it. Like this, there's an area, a designated area where the child has got the access and the
Right.
child is able to use those material which are needed for him. For example, child has to do some craft, but he doesn't have a scissor. So he'll keep on going and approaching her mother or disturbing the parents, right?
Yeah.
But if it is well planned and if it is already kept ready for them, they won't disturb because
Yes.
they want to do their activity.
Right.
So pre-preparation is very important. So I would suggest that anytime, whenever you want to do anything, you need to pre-prepare, inform them, yes, this is a time where mama will not be available. So these are the activities which you can do and all the material is to be provided, is already provided to you.
Right.
So that is
Right.
what one way which can help them. And the rest of the time when they are doing the activity, they can always support them by giving them any help like fetching the vegetables from fridge. So things that are kept at low height, and as rightly you said that folding of clothes,
Right.
that can be an activity which can be given to them for that period of time.
Hmm.
So you need to pre-prepare many things, and the environment, a designated area for them to work should be given to them.
Right. To make it more interactive for them and to also create
Right.
the environment of the working.
Right, right. So creating an environment is only a space where their material is kept ready for them to utilize.
Right.
Yes, and an online interacting session, what you asked is that should be two-way because socializing is not happening nowadays.
Yes.
They are unable to meet their friends. They are unable to
Right.
express themselves
Right.
because at this age they want to say a lot.
Right.
They want to converse a lot. So for that, they definitely need a live interacting session. Like if somebody is continuously only speaking and nobody is listening to them, they won't engage for longer time.
Yeah. True. Okay, so moving on to our next question, there is a new education policy that has come up.
Right.
So what are your views on the new education policy?
I would like to say it's a very beautifully thought, well-planned program from the childhood and till the older age where children didn't had much of options.
Right.
As in Montessori, we always believe practical knowledge is more important, the skills. So the national education policy which has come up now has got skill-based learning. So there is not something very biased for arts and sciences, something very
Right.
particular that this is the only option. It will
Yes.
be not considered as an extracurricular activity that
Right.
can be taken. For example, photography. Photography is never a
Yeah.
no
They
career to
don't.
be taken. People don't think
Right.
it as a career. So
Hmm.
that also can be taken it as a career. So I believe that yes, it is very beautifully thought, and if it is implemented well by the teachers, and it is the training is given well to all the teachers who are going to implement this, it
Right.
would be a wonderful output in 5 years or 10 years down the line.
Right.
There will be many budding stars, budding artists who would come out with different ideas. And you know, we have, means me, an educator, I have seen small kids. I will just share an example. Maybe my
Yeah.
parents must be watching also.
Yeah.
That child, we have material in our school which they explore and they work with that material. So
Hmm.
we generally give them presentation of that material. But we would never even think that this material can be used in such a way also. So that
Right.
innovation can be utilized with this education policy now. Earlier, we used to have a standard format where we used to know this is to be done this way only.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
the child can use that and explore more.
Right. I think it's a wonderful concept too. Coming to our next question, it's what are the points? Are there any other points that you would like to highlight in terms of improving the efficiency of kids while learning?
Efficiency, as in, would you like to elaborate a little?
Efficiency, as in children can't sit in one place for very long. So I have two aspects of this actually. One is how do you actually engross them into the learning in a fun way, and efficiency in the other way is how is it that you can give them that kind of efficient information or efficient learning?
To this question, I always say to everyone is that freedom within limits is what Montessori believes in also.
Right.
And it is proven also, if a child is given freedom to choose among, out of two or three options, the child, first of all, will do whatever they like to. The other thing, their capacity to think, "Acha, what is my liking? What do I like to work with?" And they can, no, I would say that they become good decision makers. So
Right.
they choose their work. They want
Right.
to do this work. And when they do it with their whole heart, they do it beautifully.
Right. True.
They do it beautifully. So yes,
Yes.
your question is that how to increase the efficiency. So first is freedom, I would say. The second is we should always trust them. Whenever we give an activity to a child, we should always have full faith in them. To your surprise, or maybe even if you know it, I would say that we have glassware in our environment, in our school.
Okay.
And in 1.5 years of my school, the environment where I have kept the glass material, none of that has broken.
Okay.
I would tell you why. Because
Yeah.
the presentation which is given so precisely that yes, these are the material which have to be handled with care.
Right.
Normal example, if I tell you, is then whenever we purchase any object, anything, even if we have taken a fridge or any car, what comes along with it?
If you've taken a fridge or a manual, or
Yeah, so
yeah.
user manual, right,
Yes.
right. So user manual is very important. So whenever you give any toy also to a child, you should
Right.
always inform them, prior inform them. Why does the child throw some tantrum or anything? Because they are unaware how to use it. We give it to them, but
Right.
they don't know how to use it.
Right.
What is the purpose of it? So to improve their efficiency, first thing, we should give them the freedom. We should have trust in them that yes, it is okay. Even if it is broken, it is okay. And the other thing is we should always inform them that how
Right.
it is to be used. What is the correct way of doing it? They might not be able to follow the perfect thing, but at least when observing it, they will understand, yes, this is the way we should use it.
Right.
So that is what helps them to improve their efficiency, because they are independent now. They are able to do their work on their own. So their confidence is
Right.
also getting built up. They are confident in on their own. Even if, like, for example, they are drawing a standing line, and if we hold their hand, they would not like it, because
Yeah.
they feel that we are dependent, somebody is helping me. But if we
Yeah.
leave it, and even if it is not a straight line, maybe today they might not be able to, but if we give them a proper picture in front of them that this is a standing line, they would do it someday or the other. So everybody has its own pace, and in that pace they would be doing it.
True. True. Absolutely.
So that is how we say that observe the child and their need. What is their need? So give them accordingly. There are many questions coming around from parents also, like they show tantrums. Now,
Yes.
why? What is the reason behind showing the tantrum? That is to be noticed by the parent. They should
Right.
observe the child that it is only mere attention seeking. In the whole day, I might have not given any time to my child. That is
Right.
the reason the child is showing some tantrum, and I need to engage with him or her with some of the other activity that might help them.
Right. This
So
is
that all these are the small things which, if you keep in mind while engaging with the child in the entire day, I don't think they would have any problem.
right. This is actually a very important point for all those parents that are viewing. What I have taken back from this conversation is communication with your child is very important, and practical learning. And also, now that we came up with the freedom and giving them the idea of doing it on their own unless they need you, also communication obviously is very, very important between a parent and child. That is number one. I think that's brilliant. uh, Coming to our next question, can you tell us a little more about Supaksha, the learning habitat that we had spoken about? Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah. Before I say that, I would say that, as you rightly said, that we should follow the child. That is what we say is
Right.
that we should know what the child's need is, and we should try to prepare that in advance so that their need is satiated and they are ready to
Yes.
work willingly. They are not enforced for anything, and they do it
Right.
willingly.
Right.
So that is what you can take from that. Yeah,
Right.
about Supaksha, yeah, I joined Supaksha 2 years back. Supaksha flagship project is in Delhi. We
Okay.
started a project here in Mumbai before 2 years, and just now we are doing only online classes,
Okay.
and we follow the Montessori approach. If you are aware about what is
Yes.
Montessori philosophy,
Yes.
so we have a beautiful habitat in Ghatkopar. So there we have different areas where we have practical life and sensorial culture, math and language with a lot of material. And that is how we run Supaksha Early Learning Habitat. As we say it, as a school should not be a terror for the child. It should be their second home. So
Yeah.
that is the reason the owners of Supaksha have named it as a habitat.
That's great. So, coming to our
Right.
last questions, and if the audience has any questions to put forth, please put it now. Coming to our last question, ma'am, what are your views on Kids Okay, please?
Yeah. So when I heard about Kids Okay, it reminded me about Horn Okay, please, which is written behind the trucks. So yes, definitely it's a warning for parents, and we should be careful with this age group because it is very, very important age group. We should not leave it out. We should not no neglect this age group because this is the age where they take the maximum. It is like a sponge. We say it at it like it is like a sponge. It absorbs
Right.
everything.
Right.
So Kids Okay has given the platform to parents, educators, and many more people who have the knowledge about childhood, and they
Right.
have given the platform for everybody to solve their worries in this crucial time in pandemic where everybody is at home and unaware about how do they solve their issues. So they come up with a lot of activities which is catered for all the age group. So I'm really very happy to see all the events happening on Kids OK Please.
Thank you.
And I thank the team of Kids OK Please to give me the opportunity to share my thoughts for this age group.
We're glad to have you, ma'am, honestly. We have one question in the audience from Amit. He says, how is the best way to say no to a child?
Yeah. So, yeah, it is a very common question and it comes very often because there will be many times where we will not be able to give them everything.
Right.
So we have to say them no. So what can we do is we can give them option. So any situation can be time bound, maybe it is object bound, or whatever is the situation where you have to say no. For example, the child is saying that I want to go out to play, which is a very common thing which everybody is facing out nowadays. So they can be given them the correct reason. Again, they should be given some alternative for that thing. Okay. Directly saying them no will always rebel. They will always try to rebel.
Right.
Because they would feel that whatever I want to do is not accepted. So that is where they will rebel. So one best way is to give them option. We can play Ludo in the house. We can play Carom in the house instead of going out. So we need to give some time. Maybe if time is not available with you, these are the two options which you can do it on your own. So that is how giving them options will always divert their mind and they will always have something other to do, which is the best way to say no. And it has worked with us also. Like there will always be a situation where we'll have to say no somewhere to them.
Right.
And that is how it can be handled it better.
Perfect. So I think we don't have any more questions in the audience. I guess we're at the end of the conversation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being there. It was
Thank you.
a pleasure talking to you. It was an amazing session for all the parents who were listening. In fact, we have a comment. We have someone who's saying very well explained. Absolutely very well explained. Anybody who wants to view it can view it on our page. It's going to be available. And I think we'll take a leave now. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a safe day.
Thanks for everyone who viewed. Yes, you too, ma'am.